You wake up, swipe your phone, and the feed punches you with a photo. Your old college buddy popping champagne on a private balcony that looks halfway to the clouds. Same major, same grades, but somehow he's buying penthouses while you're peeling yourself off the IKEA mattress for another commute. That tiny stab in the gut, hold on to it. By the end of this video you'll know the single switch he flipped, the one you can flip today, that turns gut punches into paydays. Picture the office kitchen at 10 a.m. You're reheating oatmeal because you promised yourself you'd save money for once. Jacob strolls in late, sips a $6 latte, drops a wink, and casually slides your project idea into conversation with the boss. 2 weeks later his name is on the slide deck, his desk moves closer to the window, and HR congratulates him on visionary thinking. You're still scraping cinnamon out of the plastic bowl, wondering whether integrity actually pays rent. Fast forward 5 years, same company. The patch of hair above your left temple has thinned from stress you pretend isn't stress. Your smartwatch keeps nagging you about resting heart rate. Jacob now commands a team, glides through airports, posts gratitude selfies, and talks about balance while assistants do the balancing. You finally realize, the world isn't unfair by accident, it's engineered like this on purpose. Let's make it brutally clear. The game rewards people who act before asking, grab before thanking, cut before bleeding. If that sentence makes your chest tighten good, it means you still trust in decency. I do too. But the sidewalk doesn't trust your feelings. It just cracks your kneecap when you trip. All the motivational posters in all the co-working spaces can't change the concrete. You've seen it outside the office too. Your friend who trains for marathons but can't afford rent because her landlord, who hasn't jogged a day in his life, raised the price after refreshing the market. The classmate who cheated on group projects but now runs ads about leadership culture. The cousin who ghosted family dinners for crypto calls and now hires a private chef. Over and over the pattern slaps you. Principal sits on the bench while Audacity scores every goal. This isn't a glitch. It's the core code. And when you read history in headlines instead of textbooks, the code glows neon. A mayor diverts public funds to a cousin's construction firm, gets re-elected. A corporation dumps waste into the river, pays a fine smaller than Wednesday's profit, moves on. Meanwhile, the rule followers drown in paperwork, praying someone rescues them with applause. Spoiler, applause never arrives, only invoices do. So the question pounding in your skull right now, and the one I'll answer before the credits roll, is simple. Do you have to turn into a soulless shark to stop being someone else's bait? Or is there a smarter predator lying inside you that knows when to bite and when to glide? Keep watching. The payoff is coming. First, feel what happens if you ignore this. Zoom 10 years ahead. Same honest grind, same polite smile. Your shoulders pinch from 40 hours of desk slouch plus 40 more of unseen overtime. Your savings, wiped twice by unexpected emergencies. Your partner's eyes glaze whenever you promise next year will be different. Even your dog senses you're half present on walks. That's not life. That's slow motion suffocation. Integrity is noble, but noble doesn't pay the cardiologist. Contrast that with Jacob's timeline. Golf lessons paid by the firm because client relations, quarterly detox retreats, equity packages that snowball while he sleeps. His kid's college fund keeps swelling, yours barely exists. Not because he's smarter, not because you're lazier, but because he learned, or stumbled into, the hidden circuitry running beneath the slogans. Let's rip open that circuitry right now. At its core sits one law: whoever frames the story owns the outcome. Notice how Jacob never steals, he champions. He doesn't manipulate team resources. He optimizes cross-functional synergy. The label changes the moral weight. People digest the label, not the deed. Marketing departments know this, so do politicians, so can you. Every ruthless winner I've studied masters 3 reflexes before breakfast. Ambition that ignores the speed limit. They set targets so oversized they sound stupid in a performance review. Colleagues laugh, then months later call them visionary. Decision speed that snaps like a mousetrap. While you draft pros and cons lists, they already shipped a prototype, collected feedback, pivoted and pre-ordered the celebratory sushi. Selective empathy. They understand feelings, they just won't let feelings veto action. Kindness is a faucet. They turn it on to build alliances, off when flow costs too much. None of that requires turning into an unhinged cartoon villain. It requires accepting that morality is a strategy, not a comfort blanket. Use it when it serves, revise it when it chains you. Let's get granular with Jacob's rise. Remember the project idea he swiped. Here's the behind-the-scenes playbook. He studied the ecosystem. He knew the boss loves growth hacks, so he packaged your method as a growth hack. He removed friction. Instead of asking permission, he presented a halfway built demo. Humans approve what already exists, less cognitive load. He created urgency. He sprinkled in, if we wait, competitors will copy us. Fear sells faster than logic. He attached himself to result metrics. When numbers rose, the success narrative stuck to his name like chewing gum. You could replicate each move tomorrow. Will it feel weird the first time? Absolutely. Your parents, teachers, coaches drilled share credit, wait your turn. Nice in 4th grade, lethal in an arena where scoreboard cash decides who gets weekend peace. Now the darker layer, health fallout. Silent resentment spikes cortisol, sabotages immune cells, drains deep sleep cycles. Headaches migrate into migraines. Confidence erodes. You second-guess whether strangers judge your grocery cart. Dreams shrink until the boldest thought in your week is adding jalapenos to the burrito. Flip the script and cortisol subsides. You build a track record of wins you feel in your bones. Rent is prepaid, doctor bills covered, surprise vacations spontaneously booked. Biology meets bank balance. I promised a switch. Ready? Claim before you prove. Jacob claimed ownership of the idea before the quarterly numbers proved him right. The bold claim forced the world to test him. When data arrived, he was already inside the winner's circle. Try a micro-experiment tonight. Draft an email pitching a small process change, attach a mock-up slide, add one line. I'll lead the rollout next sprint. That's the claim. Send it. Tomorrow you face 2 outcomes: approval, win, or rejection, feedback loop. Either way, you leapfrogged every maybe next time. You might say, but that's not me. I'm introverted. I stutter under pressure. Perfect. Quiet power frightens competitors more than loud bravado. Volume is irrelevant. The sequence claim then proof stays the same. Let's ground this in another everyday arena: dating. The person who texts, "Had fun tonight, let's do Friday again," secures the follow-up, while the one obsessing over timing gets ghosted. Claim first. People love defaults. Same with side hustles. Post the service as if you're already taking clients, even if the roster is currently your cat. The first real client sees social proof, hops on board, brings a second client. Momentum snowballs. Before the credits roll and the promised answer drops, internal protests might bubble. Isn't this manipulative? Straight up. Manipulation is forcing someone to lose so you win. Claim then prove can generate shared upside. Your process tweak saves coworkers hours. Your product thrills customers. Your dating initiative creates memories for both. The world isn't zero-sum unless you make it. Okay, enough philosophy. Here's the answer you waited for. The world crowns the narrator, not the hero. Be the narrator of your story. Frame your moves before anyone else tapes a label on them. When you name the narrative, obstacles rotate into plot twists, critics become background noise. Triumph feels inevitable because you're authoring the ending. Do this for 90 days and watch results compound. Week 1, tiny wins. Meeting agendas adopted, friends noticing subtle assertiveness. Week 4, tangible shifts, project leadership badges, side income covering utility bills. Week 12, life-level changes. Promotion talks initiated by management. Vacation flight booked without wallet panic. Mirror reflecting someone who stopped apologizing for breathing space. That is the prize for staying until now. Not a motivational quote, but a blueprint you already understand because you've lived the opposite. Turn off autoplay and test it in real life today. Then come back and tell us how loud the game changes when you pick up the controller. But maybe you're still skeptical. Fine. Let's crash test these ideas against 3 daily arenas where fairness should rule but never does. Supermarkets, social media, and sports clubs. Supermarket first. 2 mothers compare fruit prices in aisle 7. One spends 5 minutes balancing coupons. The other smiles at the clerk she greeted by name last week, flashes a loyalty card she didn't pay for, and glides through an express lane technically reserved for 10 items or fewer. Cashier lets it slide because she narrated the interaction. Friendly, regular, harmless shortcut. Coupon mom saves 48 cents but loses 15 minutes and a slice of dignity. Social media next. You post an earnest thought you polished for half an hour, 12 likes. Another account tosses a shaky video shot in their messy bedroom, but they open with, "You won't believe what happened when I," and drop the claim in the first 3 seconds. 1 million views. Same algorithm, same platform, wildly different outcome because the second user framed the narrative. Cliffhanger, not ramble. Sports club last. Amateur basketball league, Wednesday night. You volunteer to organize practice schedules, collect fees, design jerseys. A teammate hogs the ball, takes half-court shots, trash talks opponents. Guess who gets drafted to the regional tournament? Showboat Sam. Coaches remember impact moments, not paperwork saints. Narrate or evaporate. All 3 scenarios expose the same law. The world runs on visible claims backed by just enough proof. Weaponize that law for good. Ambition reboot. Tonight, write a target that stretches your comfort zone until your palms sweat. Tape it to the mirror. Every morning ask, what's the micro move that keeps this number honest? Stack enough micros and the target starts looking modest. Decision speed drill. Set a 10-minute clock on simple choices. When the timer buzzes, pick A or B, accept wrong picks as tuition. Intuition sharpens when you give it the steering wheel. Risk muscle. Disrupt one safe routine daily. Order the weird spicy wrap, pitch the bold idea. Tiny shocks train the brain to read novelty as adventure, not threat. Selective empathy lens. Instead of default yes to everything, test. Does agreeing help my core path or just soothe guilt? Boundaries broadcast self-worth. Maybe you fear turning into Jacob 2.0, unstoppable but hollow. Let's tackle that myth. Dominance works until relationships mutiny. Selective empathy means you still listen, still value feelings. You just refuse to let them handcuff decisions. Balance the scales. Speak last, listen first. Credit allies in public, critique in private. Reward value, not noise. People respect clear lines. Health on the table. Stress is a hormone cocktail that corrodes arteries and memory. The ruthless who ignore wellness burn out like cheap fireworks. Smart narrators calendar gym sessions the same way they calendar investor calls. Movement empties cortisol. Sleep rebuilds cortex. Laughter resets perspective. Protect the asset you. Keep micro promises. Wake at 7. Water before coffee. Send the pricing email by noon. Each tick fires dopamine, wiring proof that you mean what you say. Now pictures of ignoring the call. 2 neighbors at 50. One played polite, now sits on the porch nursing regret. The other claimed promotions, risked a bakery, went viral on croissant disasters, teaches free workshops on weekends. Same years, opposite stories. One decision, narrator or spectator. The 5-day frame grab challenge. Day 1, claim a win before noon. Day 2, ask for something you usually avoid. Day 3, ship an imperfect thing. Day 4, decline one low-yield invitation. Day 5, share the journey publicly. 5 days. No special tools. Massive perspective shift. Some will whisper, you've changed, meaning you stopped letting me download my insecurities onto you. Their discomfort is not your emergency. Remember supermarket mom. The day she stops chasing coupons and starts greeting the clerk by name, she buys back 15 minutes and probably the clerk's respect. Tiny pivot, world tilt. History is stuffed with narrators. Emperors carving borders, teenagers coding apps that rewrite how we date, vote, sleep. Pattern never breaks. Narrative first, proof later. Those who wait starve in the crowd. Those who plant flags feast at the summit. The summit isn't reserved for villains. Plenty of narrators fund hospitals, write songs that mend heartbreak, design parks where strangers fall in love. Power magnifies what you already are. So when the feed slaps you with another Jacob sipping rooftop champagne, smile. He's a mirror showing you what's possible, not a thief stealing your script. Pick up your pen. Claim the next page. Claim first, prove second. You made it to the end. The hook asked why audacity wins and whether you need to be ruthless. The answer: audacity wins because it narrates, but you can narrate with alignment, not aggression. You have the blueprint. The only step left is the first audacious claim you'll make right after you close this tab. Put it out there. I'll be in the comments to read how neck-tingly it feels. See you on the next climb.